Yesterday was a bit of a nightmare day. We had to do an emergency run into town for, it's a long story. But anyways, we got what we needed and we ended up staying overnight in town, which we didn't really want to do. But we stayed overnight and got our business taken care of first thing in the morning. And we got back out to the trail about 10 o'clock, 10, 11 o'clock. So today's going to be a short day too. Katahdin is where we end up in Maine. And they say the last one to Katahdin wins. And I think we're going to give them a run for their money. We are on a slow roll. But, you know, things come up. And they came up and grabbed us yesterday. So today's a much better day. We're going to stop right before a place called Fire Scald Bald. It's a pretty cool cliff area, I guess. But we're going to save that for morning. We're going to stop early and eat 2 dinners. We both lost quite a bit of weight that first month. We want to try to stop that or recoup some of it because it was too much too soon to lose. This trail was real smooth up until about 5 minutes ago. And it turned kind of rooty and rocky. But I'll show you where we're going to camp tonight when we get there. This has a real good chance of being day 41. That's my best guess. We stayed by Jones Meadow last night, and we had about a 1.5 miles this morning before we got to an exposed ridge that is called, I believe, Fire Scald, the ridge, and they're predicting rain today and gusty winds, and we kind of made the decision if we got to Fire Scald Ridge, which is exposed, if it was not raining and the rocks were not wet, we would take that, go over that ridge. And if the rocks were wet and it was raining, we'd take the bad weather route because it would be safer on that ridge. And I swear it wasn't until we got just about up to make that decision, it started to thunder, rain came down, rocks got wet, and we stood there for a long time trying to decide, and we opted to take the bad weather route. I really wanted to see that ridge line because I hear how beautiful it is, but we didn't figure it was worth the risk with wet rocks and thunder. It never did really open up real good when we went around it, but we didn't know at the time. So that's where we are today. We're headed toward Jerry's cabin shelter, and we're gonna go past that and I believe stay at the next shelter, which I can't think of the name of right now. Sometimes you get to a point on the AT where it looks vastly different from everything else you've hiked up until then. And this area around here really looks different. Gotta be somebody's property. They got you can see put the white blazes right up here on a post. Yeah, this is the first we saw of anything quite like this on this trip. Mostly been through the woods or up a mountain. We haven't had too many fields. And you see this was cut. Seems like when you think you might not be on the trail, you can't find one of these white blazes, but when it's pretty obvious. Seems like they're everywhere. They must graze up here. They must have animals that graze up here because they got a little pond over there. This is just past Jerry's Cabin's shelter. If anyone knows out there what this is all about, feel free to add a comment with the information. Somewhere down there in the distance in that town, there's somebody living my dream right now. They got themselves a banana split, hot fudge on top, some nuts, and they're just sitting there eating it. And they might be thinking, someone up on that hill right there, they're living my dream. I've always wanted to hike that trail, but I haven't been able to. So I guess, you know, it's whatever your perspective is at the time. Right now I might take the banana split and the hot fudge sundae.
We're up at Sheldon Graves, and it was just a little side trail to the graves of a pair of Union soldiers who were killed on this spot while visiting family in the Confederacy during the Civil War. David Shelton and William Shelton.
I had heard there was a shelter located near here, but some of the family or somebody didn't like it being this close to this, so rumor had it they burned it down and they never rebuilt the shelter. I don't know if that story is true or not. Lots of Appalachian Trail folklore. You don't know what to believe and what not to believe when it comes to those kind of stories. Tonight finds us at the Flint Mountain Shelter. We hiked about 12 miles today, and tomorrow we got to stop at a hostel. When we're getting ready for this hike, we sent a lot of boxes that were going to be sent out to us. But what I ended up doing was sending too many days worth of food to carry, basically. So we had, when we were in Hot Springs, we had to forward a box to halfway point between there and Irwin, Tennessee. So tomorrow we're going to stay at Nature's Inn Hostel. I'll be glad when the boxes are done, because kind of makes our schedule, and when we can just resupply at the store, it will probably be a little less complicated. I'm sure we save some money buying in bulk and sending it ahead, but it's kind of a hassle. But this is where we are tonight. Had a nice spring. I got a nice bear box. Pretty nice place. Got even a picnic table. We had some potatoes earlier, and we're gonna have biscuits and gravy for dinner tonight. Everything is pretty good about this shelter except this. Pittsburgh Steelers glove that ruined the whole picture for me. But Blue is in here setting up camp. We're taking the corner over there. We figure the wind won't blow in so much for us, and I don't think anyone else is going to show up, but if they do, we'll move our stuff a little bit more. But
It fits 8. There's 2 of us here, so 6 more people can come in. But it's early.
I would bet we're not going to see one more person here tonight.
I think you're right.
And then tomorrow we have a pretty big mountain to climb, and we should get into that hostel around 4, 5 in the afternoon, get our box. I'm not sure what we're going to do there. But then a couple more days we'll be in Irwin, Tennessee. We probably won't stay at Uncle Johnny's because it's about the same price as the Super 8. So we'll probably be staying at the Super 8. But then, when this weather and the temperatures get a little better, Drifter and Blue got to start sleeping outside. Because the pockets are deep, but not that deep. You've probably heard me talk about a bear box in these videos. And this is what a bear box is. Thing weighs a couple 100 pounds. It's got a bear-proof lock on it. You put your food in there. That shuts. It's kind of tricky to open. Keeps the bears away from your food so you don't got to hang it. The thing I find most amusing is behind it they have it chained to the tree. Now there's not a road around here for a long ways. So that means Bubba, it's got to be a pretty big old boy to carry this bear box out of here. I just don't understand that. But maybe they've been stolen in the past. But they're a really neat thing to have at a shelter because it keeps you from having to hang your food and definitely keeps the bears out of it.